Did you know Halloween's roots trace back over 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain? This was a time when people would light bonfires and don costumes, not merely for celebration, but to ward off wandering spirits. The Celts believed that on the eve of Samhain, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred, and the ghosts of the departed returned to Earth. Fast forward to the 8th century, and we find Pope Gregory III designating November 1st as a day to honor All Saints. This day, known as All Saints' Day, incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain, marking the beginning of a shift in how this ancient festival was celebrated. As centuries passed, Halloween as we know it began to take shape. It evolved into a day of activities that we've all come to associate with this spooktacular holiday. There's the trick-or-treating, a modern echo of the ancient practice of leaving food and wine for roaming spirits. The carving of jack-o'-lanterns, a nod to an Irish myth about a man named Stingy Jack who tricked the devil. And of course, the donning of costumes, a tradition that harks back to those early Celts trying to confuse any wandering ghosts. From an ancient tradition to a community-centered holiday, Halloween's transformation is indeed fascinating. Ever wondered about the real history of witches, those mystical figures so often associated with Halloween? Well, let's delve into the darkness. To early Christians in Europe, witches were seen as malevolent beings, often depicted as hag-faced, cauldron-stirring figures. However, many of these so-called witches were simply misunderstood natural healers or wise women. As the mid-15th century rolled around, a wave of witch hysteria swept across Europe. This led to widespread witch hunts and brutal executions. Between the years of 1500 and 1660, up to 80,000 suspected witches were put to death, with Germany having the highest execution rate. The publication of Malleus Maleficarum in 1486 only added fuel to this witch mania. Across the Atlantic in the New World, this hysteria found fertile ground, leading to the infamous Salem Witch Trials in 1692. Around 150 people were accused, with 18 ultimately meeting a tragic end. Fast forward to the present day, and the perception of witches has undergone a significant transformation. Modern witches, often practitioners of Wicca, strive to live peaceful and balanced lives in tune with nature. Their spells and incantations are more likely to be herbal remedies or used to prevent harm. The history of witches, filled with misunderstanding and persecution, reflects our society's fear of the unknown. Fast forward to today, Halloween has become a major commercial holiday, and witches have taken on various representations. The United States alone sees an estimated $6 billion spent annually on Halloween, making it a major economic event. This commercialization extends to the costumes we wear, with the witch costume being one of the most popular choices. The witch costume has evolved significantly over time. Originally, it was associated with hag-faced, cauldron-stirring figures, embodying the fear and misunderstanding surrounding witches in the past. Today, however, this costume can take on various forms, reflecting the diverse representations of witches in our culture. In pop culture, witches have been transformed from malevolent beings to a wide array of characters. They can be benevolent suburban housewives, teenage girls learning to control their powers, or even misunderstood natural healers. This shift in portrayal speaks volumes about our changing perceptions of witchcraft and magic. In the realm of cinema, scary Halloween movies have had a profound influence on our current perception of Halloween and witches. The Halloween franchise, for instance, has captured audiences worldwide, adding to the suspense and thrill that we now associate with this holiday. Whether it's a time of spookiness or celebration, Halloween and its association with witches continue to captivate us, reflecting our enduring fascination with the supernatural. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on the key points discussed. The origins and evolution of Halloween, the dark history and modern perception of witches, and their current representation in pop culture. As we celebrate Halloween and dress up in our witchy costumes, let's remember the rich history and cultural significance behind these traditions. And remember, Halloween is more than just a holiday. It's a reflection of our deep-seated fascination with the mystical and unknown.